What is going on, everybody? Welcome to today's conversion call. It is the last conversion call of the quarter. For those of you that do not know who I am John Marone, the CINC conversion specialist, here for the next 55 minutes with you guys, jamming on everything mindset and skill set shifts so you guys could dominate the next quarter. So real quick roll call. This quarter is coming to an end. Did you hit your goals or were you off? And it's okay, either way. I'm just curious. Kind of talked about this a few weeks ago, but where are you at? Your quarterly goals. Did you hit them or are you off? In your business, we'll talk about business today. Hit it. There you go. Off. It's all good. That's why you're on here, right? Let's go. Keep dropping them in there. All right. I see some people in here that are off for their quarterly goals. All right. So here's the thing, guys. I want you guys to make up for it in quarter two. We got time, right? First quarter's over almost. Time for quarter two. My man Sonny said, yes, hit more than a goal. And thanks to you. Man, I didn't do the work. You did the work. We just came here and jammed every other week, right? So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to say whatever happened in quarter one, if you did not hit your goal, it is now behind you. Well, in like a week, it is now behind you. But what you do right now in these last 2 weeks of this quarter means so much for Q2. Don't start trying to create your traction for quarter two in quarter two. It's what you do today. Right? It's what you do today. And if you guys aren't setting up your goals for every 12 weeks, we'll talk about that here in a minute. You need to start doing a 12-week year. So once again, guys, you guys are jumping in here. My name is John Marone. I am the CINC conversion specialist. I want to show you guys a video really quick. You guys know we always start today's call with some mindset stuff. So go ahead, sit back, relax, and tune in to this video. It's a little 4-minute video. So go ahead and turn it on here. All right.
Life is going to happen. And you're going to set up a plan and you're going to have a vision and you're going to hope that it's going to turn out perfect. But what so often happens in life is that things get burned and things go the wrong way. And it's in that moment that you're going to have to choose your reaction. You have a choice to make. Do you have the right reaction or do you have the wrong reaction? Some of us were tempted, I'll just lay here and it will pass over me. I'm telling you, you will be in a vicious cycle forever. You have to get up.
Some of you have been knocked out by life and you got up and saw the blood. He hit me. Sometimes in life, you have to hit back. Recycle your pain. Get something from it. You already in pain. Use it. Do something with it. Allow it to take you to the next level. Allow your pain to push you to greatness. What's your why? You need a why. Why do you need a why? Because some days you're going to say, I don't want to get up. But that why is going to say, push yourself. Get up. Your mama needs you. Your daddy needs you. Your children need you. Get up. Your why is going to push you when you can't push yourself. When you want to quit and give up, your why is going to give you that edge you need, that advantage you need, that lift that you need to get to the next level. Your why. You better go inside. You still looking outside for the stuff that's already inside. You still looking for someone to save you when you already your superhero. You looking for some information from somebody when you already got what you need in your head. It's just time for you to get up and be the best version of you. As you're going through your go-through and you ready to quit, you ready to give in because it don't look like you think it should look. You've been doing it for 5 years and it don't look like you think. You put all your money in it. You put all your time in it. People looking at you crazy. 5 years you've invested. Oh, you have absolutely nothing to do with what happened to you. It's not your fault. You got knocked on the ground. You had absolutely nothing to do with that. And I'm not blaming you for that. But if I come back a week later, you still on the ground. That's your fault. If I come back a year later, you still on the ground, that's your fault. If you get knocked down, there's nothing you can do about it. But getting back up has every single thing to do with you. And you will promise me that from this day forward, you will not be defeated. Why do you keep crying? Why me, God? Why did I get MS? Why did I get cancer? Why did my mama die? Why did I get fired? Do you understand? Listen, you got put through that because what that does, that tension produces greatness. Stop running from it and run to it. Stop telling me what you're going through. The greats, they get to it, they go through it. And the harder it is, the better. Now listen to me. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care what you're going through. If you're not dead, he ain't through with you yet. As long as you waking up, you still in the game. As long as you alive, you can still make it happen. As long as that breath in your nostrils move, you still in the game. You still can win. Now get your butt up. I don't need you thinking about it no more. You're doing too much thinking. You analyzing too much. You talking yourself out of it. I don't know if this gonna work. I tried and it didn't work. I just need you to keep moving. I need you to make up in your mind that the only way you can lose is if you quit. And I just need you to keep going. Get emotional if you must. Cry if you must. Get it out. But get your butt back up after you finish crying and put a time limit on the crying. You say, coach, I need 30 minutes. Don't take it. But when you come back after that 31 minutes, you better grind. Because if you don't, you'll be stuck at that adversity for the rest of your life. And some of you are not successful because every single time you run up against a trial, every time you run up against a tribulation, you stop and you cut off beast mode. And what I'm here to tell you is, if you tell that thing, I'm here just like you here, and I promise you, I ain't leaving without the degree. I will not leave without that goal. I will not leave without that dream. I will not leave this university until I'm successful. I will not leave this job. I will not leave this client. I will not leave this opportunity until I get it. What will you do with your pain? Will you let it break you, or will you let it redefine you?
Ooh, boy. All right. What do you guys think of that video? Drop into the chat what you guys feel about that video. And I want to give you guys a little bit of insight of why I shared that video with you guys today. You know, I think about a lot of times where we're at in our business and maybe we looked at the last quarter and we didn't win like we wanted to win, right? Maybe we didn't lose the way like we wanted to. Maybe we didn't make the dials like we wanted to. Maybe we didn't hit the goals that we wanted to. But you ain't done yet, right? You ain't done yet. But you're only done when you say you're done. Look, in order to create this massive success this year, guys, you're going to need grit. You're going to need grit. And it's plain and simple. Because where you're currently at right now, you're going to have to tap into some grit. But how do you do it? Who here wants to know how to tap into some real grit? The moments when you want to quit, the moments of overwhelm, the moments of frustration, the moments of, damn, I just don't know what to do, even though you probably know what to do. But let me give you guys an actionable tool, because that's what I'm about, right? I'm going to give you guys the inspiration. Let's talk about some actionable things here. So write this down, guys. You want to get through those moments of feeling like, man, how am I ever going to get ahead? How am I going to hit this goal? And maybe you're doing good, but man, you want to do great. You're going to need that grit. So the first is the G. When you're in that moment of overwhelm, of stress, of anxiety, of not knowing what to do, first off, understand what the goal is. The G is goal. Now, I know that sounds simple, but if I did a poll here, I probably would tell you guys that not all of you guys had a 12-week goal. And so you can't activate your reticular activating system, which is a part of your brain that what you focus on expands, if you don't have the goal. So what's the goal? What is the goal for the next quarter? How many appointments do you want to set? How many closings do you want to have? Right? How many contracts do you want to write? What's the goal? And then we go deep into the other side of everything, right? Your personal life, your relationships. You need to have a goal, because the grit cannot come out if you don't have a goal and what you are aiming for. It doesn't know why you'd want to keep going. Your brain would say, just stay safe. Right? Stay safe. Now, also with that, you have the R, and the R is really simple. Respond with perspective. Not positivity, but respond with perspective. I'm not a big fan of looking at everything as everything's positive. It's not the way it works. But what you can do is tap into perspective that would then help you figure out how I could change my view on a situation, how I create some positivity out of maybe a negative situation. So if you have the goal, then you could actually respond with some perspective. But if you don't have a goal, you can't respond with perspective, because there's nothing to change your mind. There's no place you're trying to go. And when I look at perspective and being able to respond with, I also look at ET talked about in the video. What's the reason? What's the reason you're going to get back off that canvas? What's the reason you're going to keep going? So have a goal in order to tap into that grit. Then respond with perspective. And I always talk about it, respond with that 3-foot radius, right? That 3-foot radius. And what I mean is if you could respond with that 3-foot radius, things that you can control, making that dial, you don't need to make 100, right? But maybe you go ahead and you make 20 today. You don't need to go ahead and lose 100 pounds. Maybe you just go ahead and lose 1. You don't need to wake up at 5 o'clock today, but maybe you wake up at 5:30. All right, respond in a moment with a perspective shift. The I. This is where I want you guys to really tap in. In order to really create the grit to grow, you need to imagine what it would look like if you don't. I'll say that one more time. You need to imagine what it would look like if you don't. I'm talking about get real clear. Get real clear of if you don't keep going, if you don't hit these goals, what would your life look like? Would it be the same? Would you be okay with that? What would it look like at the end of your days? Paint the picture of the what if mentality. What if I don't do this? What if I don't keep pushing? What if I don't just do the small steps that swing open the big doors? What if I don't do that? What would it look like? But then I want you to imagine the other side of it. Imagine what it would look like. Imagine you standing there in that beach house. Imagine you standing there being able to pay for your kids' college. Imagine you sitting there providing the experiences and the things that you and your family have been talking about all these years. But it starts with you getting through right now and using that grit. And then last but not least, the T. Talk better to yourself. Talk better to yourself. If you want to have the grit to grow, stop being your biggest bully. If you want to have the grit to grow, stop being your biggest dream killer. Because what you speak, you create. What you speak, you create. Realize that. And so when you speak the words of I can't, when you speak the words of I don't know how I'm going to get through this, when you speak the words of these leads aren't good, when you speak the words that nobody wants to buy in this market, when you speak these words of negativity or self-doubt or self-sabotage, you will create all of the above. So talk better to yourself. Create power in action by talking better to yourself. Now, I'm not telling you to, just go out and say things that you don't believe. You got to believe it. Right? And I'm not saying believe it for where you're at, believe it that you want to go there at least. But talk better to yourself, because once you speak, you create. So stop speaking these negative outcomes, because that's what you're creating. Because your mind doesn't know the difference between hell and heaven. Your mind doesn't know the difference between hell and heaven. And the more that you speak hell into it, the more it believes that's truth. You got to switch it, got to flip it. So I'll say it again. In order to create the grit to grow, you need to first have a goal. What is it? What do you want to create? I'm talking about a 12-week goal, because grit, you need some immediate, tangible things you're trying to accomplish, right? Not your 12-year goal, your 12-week goal. Okay. And then you need R, you need to respond in the moment with a perspective shift. Because if you respond in a current situation that you're in with the current emotion, you're probably not going to take the action you need. Am I right or wrong? So you respond in a moment with a perspective shift. I imagine, paint the picture what it would look like if you don't go and keep going and keep going. What does that look like? But then imagine what it will look like when you go ahead and dominate and hit those goals. And then last but not least, the T in grit is talk better to yourself. What you speak, you create. So if you want to have the grit to grow, get a goal, respond with a perspective shift, imagine what it look like, and talk better to yourself. You guys with me on that in the chat? Let me know if you guys are following along with me. We're jumping into some conversion here, but I need you guys I need to know if you guys are with me on it, because this is super crucial for you guys to understand. It pains me when I ask the question, how you guys on track or off track for your goals, and it's so many of you guys that said off. So I'm like, I wish I could just get in there and help shake you up a little bit. I know it's not easy, right? I know it's hard. I know we all go through different seasons of our life, but guys, you got to have grit to grow. And that's how you tap into it. Any questions on that? Any questions? Drop into the chat. Any questions on it? I'll give this a minute. Then I'm going to go ahead and I want to role play with some people. So I'll give us a minute. I want to actually bring somebody up here, see if they want to role play. But any questions on how to create the grit to grow? So I want to stay here for a second and see if there is. Let's see, any questions? All right. Who here wants to role play? Who here wants to role play? I'm gonna bring up one person to role play. Okay, bring up one person. Roxanne says, how do you create the grit to grow? The acronym we just went over. So have a goal, know what the goal is. That's the only way you're going to push through is have somewhere that you're trying to go. Right? Then the R's respond with a perspective shift of really what is going on in this moment. Is it a breakdown of your life or just a breakdown of your thoughts? Is it a breakdown of your life or really just a breakdown of your thoughts? Then the imagine both sides of it. What if I don't do this? What if I do this? What would your life look like either way? And then T is talk better to yourself. Okay. Who here wants to role play? Drop an I into the chat. And we're going to role play buyers today, guys. We're role playing buyers today. All right. We got Joseph. Joseph, I'm going to unmute you. Got to find you. Hold on a minute. Let me find you. Okay. I'm going to unmute you in 3, 2, 1. And unmute. All right. Joseph, you there, brother?
I'm there. What's good?
Everything, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing excellent.
Good. I love it, dude. So where are you listening in from?
Denver.
Denver. Nice. We'll be out there doing a conversion day in a CINC in May. You gonna be joining us?
I'll be there.
Dude, awesome. I'll be there. I'll see you on the 3rd day. So
Nice.
we'll be rocking out. I'm gonna jump out a little bit early. Give you a heads up. I gotta jump out at 3, come back for my daughter's birthday party, but I'll be there for the majority of the day. All right. So dude, let's first off, how long you been in real estate for, Joe?
5 years.
5 years. I love it. Do you like to go by Joe or Joseph?
Yes.
Perfect.
Goodbye.
Let's see, Joseph. Okay. So have you been using our script at all, or have you been using a different one?
I've been using our script.
So the one that we provided you and been training on?
Yes.
My man. All right. Have you ever been to a conversion day before, or is it going to be your first one?
That'll be my first one.
All right. I love it, dude. All right. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and make it happen. I'm just going to be a new lead in your system. And I want you to give me a call, and then we'll go from there and give some feedback at the end. Does that work?
Fantastic.
All right. Let's go. Give me a ring.
All right, ring.
Hello.
Hey, this is Joseph with the home search site. I noticed you were looking at some homes and just curious, are you looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing?
Yeah, man. Right now, we are just browsing.
Perfect. That is exactly what the site is for. And I'm just curious, what's prompting you to browse right now?
You know, we're just we're looking to get into definitely a bigger house, and we need some space in the backyard.
Okay, got it. So a little bit more space in the backyard than what you currently have now. Is that right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Okay, so are you looking for barbecue back there, space for the kids? Why is the backyard important?
Yeah, man. I'm looking to definitely have a space for the kids so we can go ahead and toss the ball around and definitely entertain. We don't have either of those options right now. So it's, you know, we definitely want that in a new house.
Okay, nice, nice. You got some kids in sports then?
Yeah. There's 2 of them in sports.
Okay, awesome. What sports are we talking about here?
I mean, it's what we're not talking about, honestly. It's you name it, they're in it.
Oh, beautiful. Awesome. Awesome. I love it. You got a couple of jocks there. That's great. How old are your kids?
So we have a 5-year-old, a not even year-old, and then a 9-year-old.
Oh my goodness. All right. Good deal. Awesome. And then space to entertain back there. You like to put together barbecues on the weekends then?
I would like to. I don't now, but I would like to.
Beautiful. Okay. Very good. And then are you thinking a 3 or 4 bedroom?
I would love to have 5, probably.
5 bedrooms. Okay. Got it. And is that what you currently have now, or is that going to be an upgrade for you?
That's definitely gonna be an upgrade. We're in a 3-bedroom right now, so the 2 boys are bunking with each other.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. Get the boys in their own separate rooms. That's
Please.
awesome. Have a 3rd bedroom, it sounds like, for your 1-year-old. And then are you having a guest bedroom there or an office? What are you using that 5th space for?
I definitely need an office.
An office.
We don't have one now.
Okay. You work from home?
Yes.
Fantastic. What do you do for a living?
We own a couple companies and we're investors in a couple different businesses locally.
Nice. Okay. That's awesome, man. And so what's drawing you out to Denver?
We have family out there, friends out there, and we visited a few times and we absolutely love it. And so it's close to the snow too. And I know people are trying to go away from it. We want to definitely go to it to start snowboarding some more.
Okay, you're leaning into the snow. That's beautiful.
Yes.
Awesome. Getting up to the hill and go ride. That sounds awesome, man. When
Yeah,
you get-
it's just crazy the market right now though, right? I mean, it's really overpriced though, isn't it?
it's very competitive right now. And that's driving prices up a little bit. But I'm really glad that you brought that up because we have strategies that we implement for our buyers to get them into these homes without overpaying for properties. And
What do you
we'll
mean?
for sure. I just want to learn a little bit more about what you're looking for. Are you so with the backyard space? It sounds like you're going to be leaning towards a single family, not so much an attached home. Does that sound right?
Yes, correct.
Perfect. Okay. Great. Awesome. And then what would be your ideal timeline? If you could wave a magic wand, when would you like to move out here?
When the market crashes, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
with everything. So I mean, I've heard it's trending that way. So I think I might wait until the market definitely goes down and crashes or whatever that might look like.
really? Oh, okay. Got it. So I'll be honest with you. I have not heard that. So I'd be curious to know, where you're getting that information from there. But
My
again,
Aunt Judy, she's a real estate agent.
oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
she told me about that.
Oh, okay, nice. Aunt Judy, awesome. Is she an agent out here then?
She's an agent in Colorado Springs.
Oh, she's in the Springs. Okay. Yeah, that's a good market there too, for sure. Okay. Awesome. But John, this is what I'd like to do for a next step here. And it's super simple. I would like to set up a time for us to jump on a Zoom call so we can kind of talk about the process. We pick out some properties that kind of meet this criteria for you and show you why we pick those properties out for you, as well as the strategies that we use to get folks into these homes without overpaying for them. So what works better for you, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Man, can you just send me some homes, and if I see something I like, I could kind of let you know, and we kind of go from there. Obviously, with our price point, I just want to make sure that it aligns with what we're trying to pay.
Okay, John. Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from on that. And the whole reason that we set up these calls here is I just want to make sure that you got the right person with the right strategy for the right time. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, I mean that does, I guess. I mean, yeah, I guess that makes some sense. I just want to make sure that we're not getting into a house that is overpriced. You know what I mean?
Right. And I want to make sure about that too. 86% of people feel like their agent does not understand their problem. So I'm really just wanting to dig deeper here to make sure that I do, and that I make sure I address that for you. So that's why we go through these calls in this process. What would work better for you, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Let's shoot for Wednesday.
Wednesday, awesome. Okay. Would you prefer a morning call or evening?
Let's do an evening call.
Evening call. All right. How's 6 o'clock?
My time or your time?
Wednesday, 6 o'clock, your time.
That works. Yeah.
Perfect. And tell me, John, do you use a calendar to run your day?
If it's not on there, man, it doesn't get done. That's for sure.
That's me. That's exactly it. Yeah, I gotta have it right there in front of me on my calendar. So really glad you mentioned that. What's gonna be the best email to send a calendar invite to?
Can you send it to john@johnmarone.com?
John@johnmarone.com. Yes, sir. And when you receive that, will you do me a quick favor and hit accept so that it shows up on both our calendars?
Yeah, for sure. I could do that for you.
Awesome. All right, John. I'll get those properties picked out here for our meeting. I will see you Wednesday at 6 o'clock on that Zoom. I appreciate you picking up the phone today.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Good job, dude. God, you were throwing out all the lines that we go ahead and ask you guys to do. So that was great, man. How do you feel about it?
Nice. I was nervous.
Yeah, I could tell, but it's normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But honestly, like the words you were saying were great because it was exactly like you were putting them in the right places, man, which I'm so proud of you for putting it in the right place. Because what we see sometimes is people aren't comfortable with them. So they put them like all out of order, right? They're going to go ahead and use, the 86%, line that we always use at the wrong place. You use it at all the right places.
Nice.
So be proud of yourself for that. The opening line was good. You asked for the business, even on a role play. That's hard for some agents, right? Just to go in and ask for it. So I'm glad you went and you did that. You did the calendar invite. I have a question for you.
Yes.
How many calls have you been on these every other Monday calls?
This is my second one.
So did you just get the script? Like, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
That was, yeah, I'm going to go with yes.
Okay. But how long have you been, so you've been practicing script for what, like less than a month, would you say? Or is it more than that?
Less than a month.
Dude, that was great job. Like once again, great job. I'm going to give you a few things that will take what you just did and make it your own. And the big thing is how many times have you role played this script?
3 or 4. Not enough.
All right. So there you go. You know what to say, which is great. You know where to put it, which is awesome. Now you just need to know how to say it.
Right.
So what I mean by that is your tonality, obviously you're nervous, right? But your tonality wasn't yours. When I was talking to Joseph before about, hey, do I call you Joe or Joseph? I heard it's like, either. Like that's who you are. But when we get into a script, it sounded a little scripted, right?
Yes.
It's put this way, it sounded a little scripted, but not everybody's going to catch on to that. But if you sit down and you role play, it's how I want you to do it. Just the opening line for 15 minutes over and over and over and over and over again, right? Just that close that you had, right? Right person, right strategy for the right time, over and over and over and over again. You're going to get really good at making it your own and utilizing what we call that curiosity tonality, which is like bringing it up and then you drop it down. So you're looking to make a move in the next few months, or you're just browsing. I'm just browsing. Perfect, man. It's exactly what the site is for. Hey, while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? Right? Do you hear that drop and that going up? And then when I ask the question, it drops down of a more curious tonality. Do you hear that?
Yes.
But that comes with practice, right? That comes with practice. The greatest part about it, like I said, I'll reiterate it for the third time. You said the right things. You said them in the right order. You asked for the business. You asked for the calendar invite. You did all the right things. You just need to make it your own. So practicing it more to utilize tonality. And what's going to help when you do that is here's like the big aha with it is right in that meat and potatoes where we're talking about the 3 whys deep for every what that we always talk about in these calls and diving deep into that why. You didn't go 3 whys deep. And the reason being, and this is my thoughts, and correct me if I'm wrong, but been doing this for a while, is because you were thinking about the next question to ask.
Yes.
And that gets us in trouble of not listening to understand, but we're listening to respond. You went like a level deep here, level deep there, but I was like, man, we're in 3 bedrooms right now. In that moment, like that should have been like, man, so what would that do for you to be able to get in the extra 2 bedrooms, only having 3 and going to 5? What would that do for you?
Yes.
Man, it would be hopefully bring some peace to the house. The kids won't be fighting all the time, right? I'm talking about these emotions, and emotion creates motion. Now you're going to get me. Now you're going to get me, right? And then the other one is I talked about the kids and you started talking about them, right? You brought it to a side conversation, which is I love. What we always say, guys, if this is new for you, it's always a what question followed by a why question. Extract information and build a conversation like he did with the kids, right? Oh, how old are they? Right? Have a conversation. What sports do they play? right? Having a conversation, then come back in and ask a why question. Man, so what would that do for you to be able to have, walk out your back door and have your own backyard that you can go ahead and kick the ball around with your kids and play all the sports that right now you don't have the opportunity to. Man, it'd be, so much better than have to try to pile them all up in the car. And that's where it comes. That's where the gold is in this script, man, is when you can get deep and tapping into emotion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
And it's just listening to understand, but stay in that, what I call the pocket. Like if they say, they're going to tell you more than likely how they feel, right? You just got to listen to it. And the other piece to this is I was like, oh, the market crashing. I love how you're like, oh yeah, it definitely is competitive. Like, I like that you went that route, but and at the same time, you didn't stay there. You kept asking me questions and you didn't have a confrontation with me about why my Aunt Judy said it was crashing and how you don't think it is. And that's huge, guys. Listen up. That's huge. Having a debate, right, over the phone, you won't win, especially when you don't know that person good enough. There's no real value yet. So I'm glad you didn't try to have a debate with me. You started to for a second, but then you pulled back. Because I didn't hear that. Right? Who said that? I wouldn't even go that route.
Noted. Yeah.
Right. All I would say is that they're like, oh, look, waiting for the market to crash. Look, man, I totally get it. It's not my job to put you into a home that you're going to overpay. But let's take a second. Let's put the market crash and market crashing to the side. Tell me a little bit more about why and whatever it might be. Right. And go back into the why questions. And at the end, it's like, hey, look, I know you're worried about the market crashing. As I said before, I'm not here to put you in a situation where you're overpaying for something. And so I want to make sure you feel absolutely comfortable and confident and have clarity that you got the right person in your corner. So it's even more of a reason for us to jump on a quick 15-minute Zoom call. So we just kind of show you our strategy, put a face to the name, and hey, look, you want to wait longer, that's completely fine. But at least having the confidence that you got the person in your corner, just in case that perfect home does come on the market, and it checks off all those boxes, at least you have faith that you got the right person who's going to go to bat for you and negotiate. Does that work?
Nice. So kind of when that comes up, then that's an opportunity to bridge it to the close.
Exactly. Right. And if you don't have enough information yet, then you jump back into the more whys.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. But for this one, like you had pretty good information, especially if you got the emotion out of it.
Yeah.
Right. And bring it back up. Right. So if he says waiting for the market crash, say, look, I'm not going to make you overpay for something. My goal is to make sure we get you into a place that you have your backyard, kick the ball around with your son. You can play football, whatever, like, we talked about, where you can go in and actually, step outside and have the barbecues, not to mention give you the opportunity to be able to work from home and your kids have their own space. That's my goal. And so whenever we see an opportunity out there that looks like it may be overpriced, I will tell you what you need to hear now, what you want to hear. I'll advise you what I think it is and kind of the trend of the market and where it's going. Is that fair?
Nice.
But I'm bringing up the emotion, right?
Yeah.
I'm painting that picture. It's like, yeah, dang, I really do want that. Man, I really do. And just reiterating, I'm not here to force you into a home. All right. I'm here to advise you and to hopefully hold you accountable to the things that you said that you wanted and why you wanted it. But the way I'm saying is empathy and care.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not BS, right? It's real. It's just making sure that they understand that it is, but you don't get there unless you ask those why questions 2 to 3 levels deep. Other than that, like I said, man, I'm extremely, be proud of yourself for the words that you said, the place that you said them. The big thing for you is got to say them a little bit differently, which what I mean is role play them so you can utilize your tonality and tonality that works best in this environment. And then being able to listen to understand, not listen to respond, and be able to dive deeper into their meaning to get an emotion that creates motion.
I love that. I love the to take apart each piece and practice each piece for 15 minutes at a time. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So it's called deep work, right? Deep work and deep practice. It's almost like baseball or even golf, right? Let's talk about golf. So if you're getting trained by one of the top golfers, they don't just tell you pick up the golf, club and swing it, and then swing it again and swing it again. They see you swing it, then they say, okay, pick it up, put it down. Pick it up, let me see your hand placement. Let me see your feet placement. All right. Want muscle memory, right? Muscle memory. Then it's like, okay, now swing and now stop. They want to see that backswing, right? Nope. See our shoulders dipping. Let's try it again without the shoulder dipping, without the shoulder dipping. And like, for very good example, my daughter was at gymnastics today and she was climbing up this ladder, and this ladder was like ones that hang from the ceiling. So there's nothing that's connected to the bottom, right? So it's really wobbly, and she's 4. And so the whole point of it is for them to understand like foot, then hand, right? Versus what a lot of kids do is they'll go 2 feet up the rung of the ladder, and then now they're sitting there almost like a V, right? And their butt's hanging down. They're having a hard time trying to grab the other handle. So it's like 1 foot, 1 hand, 1 foot, 1 hand. And so what I was practicing with her was 1 foot, 1 hand. Okay, now stop, go back. 1 foot, 1 hand. Okay, stop, go back. 1 foot, 1 hand. Okay, now you do it. 1 foot, 1 hand. Now the other one, 1 foot, 1 hand. Boom, and she's got it, right? And she's got it. So you want to make sure that you're breaking your pieces down of your framework / script, piece by piece, get in that batting cage, continue to go ahead and get those reps and putting in the work, man. Be proud of yourself. You did awesome. Do you have any questions for me?
No, this is super helpful. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you jumping in here too and role playing with me. And I'll see you in Denver in May.
Sounds good, man.
All right. Talk to you then. All right, guys. So what do you guys think of that role play? I want to know what questions you guys have out of it too. I mean, he did a phenomenal job. Got a lot of nice jobs. Good job. Fantastic jobs. There you go. Boom, boom. Excellent. This is great. Are these recordings available? Yes, they should be available in your help desk. If not, reach out to your success partner and they'll help you out. What does your practice look like? So it's very similar to what I told Joseph of like, it's piece by piece, right? It's piece by piece, right? Do the opening line and then get really good at asking the why questions and then go for the close. And then you put it all together. What is a response when someone says, I'm waiting for the market to crash? The best response, Harvey, is very simple, right? Harvey says, man, I'm just waiting for this market to crash. Right? You just simply say, hey, look, let's take a second. Let's market crash and not crash. And let's just put that to a side really quick. Why'd you start looking in the first place? And then let them talk. Right? And then you dive into it. Man, we need a bigger place. This place is getting crammed, blah, 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 blah. All right, person, you said a bigger place. What do you mean by that? How much bigger? And now I'm diving right into the script. So the objection handler is, hey, look, let me go ahead and just put the market crashing to the side for a second. And I literally like with my body and my hands, you guys can't see me right now, but I take it, I act like I'm grabbing something and I put it to the side. It helps with tonality. So let's just put that to the side for a second. Tell me, what made you start looking in the first place? Why'd you start looking in the first place? And as soon as they tell you, that's when you start going deep into their why and right back into the script. Where do we find these R scripts? So it's Angela, when I said R scripts, I meant like O-U-R, not R, like the letter R. I know you sent me that as a message, but it's the CINC scripts. And you can get some of that. So if you reach out to your success partners, probably some online as well. But the whole big piece of this is we really deliver it at our CINC conversion day that we do live. And the reason why is because the training behind it is what makes these scripts so damn good. We have a conversion rate of 33%. We just did a conversion day in Phoenix, and our conversion rate out of that room for an hour of dialing at 2 o'clock on St. Patty's Day was 44% contact to appointment set. I'll say it one more time. During St. Patty's Day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, after a whole day of conversion, we had a 44% contact to appointment set ratio. We averaged 35, 33% over the last 4.5 years, 8,000 agents we've trained. So it works, right? But if I just handed you the script, you know, it's nowhere near as good, right? Like Joseph jumped on here once before, he's had the script, but how much better is he going to be now that he got some actual training on it? Right. Then when he comes to conversion day in May and CINC University in May, he's going to be even better. So any questions on that? Someone says, my question is, I'm new and I've been an agent for 2 months. Conversation doesn't go that way. I've had someone rush off the phone. What's the best way to keep them on the conversation going? People will jump off the phone with you for so many reasons, but the main reason is they have a fear of being sold, and you're good chance, not saying it's happening, but good chance you are not as confident as you should be, and your energy is not where it needs to be. Especially as newer agents, sometimes, we get this worrisome of, are they going to ask me questions I don't know, right? Are they going to say things that, I'm not going to understand how to come back from? But if they ask me how many deals I've done, all these things play into effect of our true confidence and our high energy that we need to have. And so they don't go that way because 80%, I think it's like 75, 76% of your opening or your objections come from your opening lines. Majority of your objections come from your opening line. And so if you don't have the right energy, if you don't have the right opening line that we use, it's going to be harder for sure. Hopefully that helps, Roxanne. So I would practice your opening line over and over and over and over again. And the reason why I didn't kick back too much was because he was doing the right thing, right? He was saying all the right things, exactly what we talk about in our framework, in our script. And that's why. But I still tried to throw him a curveball about the market crashing and, send me some emails, but he rebounded quick from that. What else? What other questions do we have? What other questions do we have? Let's see. I had missed the beginning of the role play. I'm new as well. Can you explain a little more about the opening line? Yeah, I'll just pop up the opening line really quick for you guys. And then we'll end with that. I'll share my screen. Okay. Give me a second. All right, let me share my screen with you guys. Okay, so here's the opening line. Hey, this is John with the home search site. I noticed you were looking over in Destin at some homes. Just curious, you're looking to make a move in the next few months or just browsing? But like I was talking to Joseph about, the power is how you say it. That's the power. So if you were just a reader saying, hey, this is John with the home search site. I noticed you were looking over in Destin at some homes. Just curious, are you looking to make a move in the next few months or are you just browsing? Sounds very scripted, right? Very salesy. Versus once you start to practice it, get really good at it, you have a high energy, say, hey, this is John with the home search site. I noticed you were looking over in Destin at some homes. Just curious, you're looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing? Yeah, right now we're just browsing. Perfect. That's exactly what the site is for. Hey, while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? So when I talked about the curiosity tonality, right here, looking to make a move in the next few months. When I said move, I elongated the word, right? Which means I heightened the energy a bit. Then I came down on the tonality for just browsing. You looking to make a move in the next few months? Or are you just browsing? Yeah, I'm just browsing. And I say browse in, right? Because that's how I speak. If I were to say, or are you just browsing? It sounds weird out of my mouth. So understand who you are and how you kind of articulate your words, and then put those things in there, because that's a huge piece to the confidence and the energy piece of it. Is it possible to practice a script with someone who is not interested in taking the call? However, you got them. Once again, Roxanne, if you're not doing this opening line, that's where I would love for you to start. So someone that's not interested in taking a call, you're going to have that no matter what. Like that's no matter what, right? But that is 100% a lot of how you go about your opening line. So if you don't have the confidence, they're not going to want to talk to you. Right? If you are shaky, they're not going to want to talk to you. But if you have that confidence when you're calling, it gets way easier for them to open up a little bit and drop their walls down and build rapport. Now, I'm not telling you there are still going to be people that aren't interested, but guess what? The number one objection we get when our opening line is what? Just browsing, right? Just browsing. So when we give them, this is human psychology part of it, when we give them the out of just browsing, their wall comes down, which allows us to build a better conversation because they think they're getting off the phone. So we know they're saying just browsing, we give it to them, and that alley-oop allows us to drive deeper into a conversation. Does that make sense, Roxanne? How would you best alter for leaving a voicemail? I would not leave a voicemail, Harvey. Let's not leave voicemails unless you know the person, talk to the person. Harvey, if you call this lead, right, and this lead, here's your voicemail, and this lead doesn't know you, doesn't like you, doesn't trust you. This lead doesn't want to be sold. This lead doesn't probably think you have value. When they see that number call again, Harvey, what do you think is going to happen? They're not going to answer, right? They're not going to answer, especially if you're calling at the same time, which you guys need to be switching up shifts while you're dialing. Just let you know, make sure you guys are calling at different times throughout the day. So don't leave a voicemail. Don't leave a voicemail. Michael says, I had to miss a beat. Oh, that was that one. All right. Perfect. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Any questions? If you guys do have questions, reach out to me on Instagram at Real John Marone. At Real John Marone. Okay, so reach out to me if you have any questions at all. Reach out to me on Instagram, and we could definitely go ahead and help you. We're here to help you between the whistles. So reach out to me at Real John Marone, and we could jam on some stuff. So before we jump off here, what are some takeaways from today? Drop some takeaways into the chat. Drop some takeaways into the chat. Let's see what we got. From the beginning of the call to the end, right? Beginning of the call, we talked about how to get the grit to grow, all the way down to the role play we do with Joseph. I will not be leaving voicemails. Yep. Make the script your own. The only way, Nicole, you can make your own is if you role play. Stay true to your style, 100%. Joanne, got to role play, make that happen. Hector says, talk better to yourself. Yes. Stop being the biggest bully in your life. Remember tone and find 3 levels of the why. Yeah. Curiosity, tonality. Voicemail information. Yes. Emotion creates motion. I get knocked down, I get up again. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Never gonna get me down. All right. Always ask until you find a pain point and how you could solve it. Yes. But also, Andreas, also talk about the pleasure side of it, right? Humans only make decisions off of pain or pleasure. So tap into both of those and then close on pleasure. Humans only make decisions off of pain or pleasure, but we want to close on pleasure for the most part. Keep the energy up in the conversation. Where did I get the scripts? Reach out to your success partner or come to one of our CINC universities. We'll be in Tampa next month. I'll drop the link in here. So if you guys are looking to get the live training, which I highly suggest everybody does, boom, go there. You guys can go ahead and find a city near you or a city you want to travel to. It is a write-off that you can go ahead and book a ticket for and come see us live. Do not pick up the phone if your mind isn't locked into success. Your attitude trickles through 1000%. And there's ways, right? There's ways to get into that. Real quick, I'll drop this little share screen on here. These are the 5 W's to win the game before it starts. We did a session on this a few weeks back. But before your dialing sessions, you need to figure out what your goals are, why you're willing to go 12 rounds, where, which is your sales journal, have something to track your good and the bad things you're doing. Wow, which is your state and your energy, and then winning, which is confidence. And you get that by practicing. All right, guys, if you need me, once again, reach out, hit me up on Instagram. Also, if you have any questions about us coming to you live, definitely reach out to me. But we'd love to see you guys live. But make sure you guys put what we used into action. And then in 2 weeks or so, when I come back, when we have another call like this, I would love to hear some results that you guys had by putting either the mindset shift stuff into action or the skill set stuff that we went over today into action. And don't forget, when we talk next time, it's going to be the second quarter of 2022. Make sure you guys have your goals written out. Make sure you clearly identify what we call stepping stone goals are, the action steps. And if not, we are going to have probably a quick 15-20 minute session on setting goals for the new year or for the new quarter. So just make sure you guys come prepared, pen and paper, ready to go. So appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Joseph, for going ahead and role playing. If you guys need me, you know where to find me. But until next time, guys, keep crushing it. Go ahead and dominate the rest of this quarter and set up your runway for quarter 2 by what you do today. See you guys in 2 weeks.